Most people imagine jealousy as an obvious emotion. They expect it to appear through anger, insults, or open competition. But the most dangerous form of jealousy is almost invisible. It hides behind polite smiles, warm conversations, and innocent-looking questions. The jealous person rarely attacks you directly because doing so would expose their insecurity. Instead, they study you, they gather information, they search for weaknesses they can use later. This is why the questions they ask should never be dismissed as harmless curiosity. A jealous person is less interested in who you are than in what you have achieved. Every answer you give becomes another piece of information they compare against their own life. They are silently calculating whether you deserve your success, whether your confidence is real, and whether they can find a flaw that makes them feel superior. Their questions often sound supportive, but beneath them lies a desire to reduce your accomplishments to luck, privilege, or coincidence. They are not trying to understand your journey, they are trying to make peace with their own dissatisfaction. History has shown that successful individuals often face greater danger from those closest to them than from obvious enemies. Familiarity creates comparison, and comparison often creates envy. People who once celebrated your progress may begin questioning every step you take as your influence grows. Suddenly, they become interested in your income, your relationships, your plans, or your future. They ask with a smile, but every answer becomes material for gossip, criticism, or silent resentment. They seek certainty that your position is temporary because your success reminds them of their own unrealized potential. Power is not only built through action, but also through information management. Every successful strategist understands that knowledge is a valuable asset. The more people know about your ambitions, finances, struggles, or next move, the easier it becomes for them to interfere. Jealous people depend on access. They cannot compete fairly, so they compensate by collecting details that give them leverage. This is why disciplined individuals reveal only what serves their purpose. They understand that privacy is not secrecy born from fear, it is protection born from wisdom. Observe how emotionally invested someone becomes in your answers. Genuine people ask because they care about your well-being. Jealous people ask because your response determines how they feel about themselves. Their curiosity grows stronger when your life improves. Recognizing this difference changes the way you communicate. You become thoughtful instead of overly open, calm instead of defensive, and selective instead of eager to explain yourself. The strongest position is not proving your worth to everyone around you. It is understanding that not every question deserves an answer, and not every smile deserves your complete trust. Jealous people rarely focus on your character because character cannot easily satisfy their need for comparison. Instead, they become fascinated with visible signs of success. They notice your achievements, your confidence, your relationships, your opportunities, and the respect you receive from others. While genuinely supportive people admire growth and ask how they can learn from your experiences, jealous individuals see your progress as a personal reminder of what they believe they lack. Their attention is fixed on the results, not the effort that produced them. This is why many of their questions revolve around outcomes rather than the process. They ask how much money you earn, who helped you succeed, how quickly you advanced, or whether your latest accomplishment was really as impressive as people claim. These questions appear normal on the surface, but their hidden purpose is to measure themselves against you. Every answer becomes part of an invisible scoreboard they carry in their minds. If they discover you struggled, they feel relieved. If they discover you succeeded beyond expectations, they search for reasons to diminish it. Human nature has always been shaped by comparison. People instinctively evaluate their position within a group. Wise individuals use comparison as motivation for self-improvement. Jealous individuals use it as fuel for resentment. They cannot celebrate another person's victory because they interpret someone else's rise as evidence of their own failure. Instead of asking what qualities allowed you to succeed, they search for shortcuts, unfair advantages, or fortunate circumstances that explain away your accomplishments. This protects their ego while preventing honest self-reflection. One of the greatest mistakes successful people make is assuming everyone celebrates success in the same way. They openly discuss promotions, investments, future plans, and personal victories, believing transparency builds stronger relationships. In reality, unnecessary openness often attracts silent competition. The more details jealous people collect, the easier it becomes for them to criticize, imitate, or undermine your progress. They may even disguise their envy with compliments, making it difficult to recognize their true intentions until trust has already been misplaced. Power belongs to those who understand the value of selective disclosure. There is no obligation to explain every achievement or justify every decision. Quiet confidence speaks louder than endless explanations. When someone seems unusually interested in measuring your success instead of appreciating your character, respond with calm simplicity rather than excessive detail. Let your actions remain your strongest statement. People who genuinely respect you will admire your discipline, while jealous individuals will become frustrated by the absence of information they hope to use. The less they know about the full extent of your ambitions and accomplishments, the fewer opportunities they have to compare, criticize, or interfere with the direction of your life. False curiosity is one of the most effective disguises jealousy can wear. Unlike open hostility, it attracts little suspicion because it arrives wrapped in friendliness, compliments, and casual conversation. The jealous person understands that direct confrontation would expose their true emotions, so they choose a subtler path. They become the person who asks thoughtful questions, remembers small details, and appears deeply interested in your life. Yet beneath this display of concern is a quiet search for information that can satisfy their envy or weaken your position. Their curiosity is not driven by admiration but by comparison. Notice how these conversations often begin with praise. They compliment your recent success, acknowledge your achievements, or express excitement about your future. Once your guard is lowered, the questions become increasingly personal. They ask who introduced you to an important opportunity, how much your business is earning, what your next plans are, or whether you have encountered any setbacks. Each answer gives them another piece of a puzzle they are quietly assembling. They are not collecting knowledge to support you. They are gathering material they can analyze, repeat to others, or use to reassure themselves that your success is less significant than it appears. People who genuinely care about your growth usually focus on principles rather than private details. They ask what lessons you learned, what habits improved your life, or what advice you would offer someone beginning the same journey. Their questions inspire conversation and mutual respect. Jealous individuals move in the opposite direction. They seek specific information that allows them to compare, criticize, or compete. Their attention is drawn toward numbers, names, strategies, mistakes, and personal weaknesses because those details satisfy their hidden emotional needs. Throughout history, influential individuals have understood that information is a form of power. Every unnecessary detail shared creates another opportunity for misunderstanding, manipulation, or imitation. Those who rise to positions of influence rarely reveal every intention before it becomes reality. They recognize that not everyone listening hopes for their success. Some listeners are silently hoping for failure because another person's achievement unsettles their own sense of worth. This is why disciplined people master the art of speaking without revealing everything. They remain approachable without becoming transparent. The greatest defense against false curiosity is emotional awareness. Do not answer every question simply because it is politely asked. Instead, observe the pattern behind the conversation. Does this person celebrate your progress, or do they become unusually interested whenever something good happens in your life? Do they encourage your ambitions, or do they subtly challenge every decision you make? Often the truth is revealed not by a single question, but by repeated behavior over time. Calm, measured responses protect both your peace and your future. Remember that silence is not arrogance, nor is privacy a sign of distrust. It is a recognition that valuable things require protection. Your plans, relationships, financial progress, and personal victories do not need constant explanation to gain legitimacy. Those who truly support you will respect your boundaries without demanding access to every corner of your life. Those driven by jealousy will often become impatient when they cannot obtain the information they seek, revealing that their curiosity was never as innocent as it first appeared. Many people believe that honesty requires complete openness. They feel obligated to answer every question, explain every decision, and reveal every future plan. While honesty is an admirable quality, wisdom demands discernment. There is a profound difference between being truthful and being transparent. Truthfulness builds trust, but excessive transparency can invite unnecessary problems, especially when dealing with jealous people. Those who envy your progress are constantly searching for details they can use against you, whether through criticism, gossip, imitation, or quiet sabotage. One of the greatest mistakes ambitious individuals make is revealing their plans before they have taken shape. Excitement often leads people to announce new opportunities, business ideas, financial goals, or personal dreams. They hope for encouragement, but not everyone listening wants them to succeed. Jealous people may disguise their reactions with smiles and supportive words, yet internally they are comparing your ambitions with their own disappointments. Some will discourage you with subtle negativity, others will spread doubt among mutual acquaintances. Few may even imitate your ideas before you have the chance to execute them. True confidence does not require constant validation. People who understand their own value do not feel compelled to explain every move they make. They allow their actions to speak louder than their promises. This quiet discipline creates an advantage because it prevents unnecessary interference. The fewer people who know your destination, the fewer opinions, judgments, and hidden agendas you must navigate along the way. Privacy becomes a strategic choice rather than an act of fear. Observe highly successful individuals throughout history. Many of them revealed their achievements only after the work had already been completed. They understood that unfinished plans are fragile. Every outside opinion has the potential to create distractions, self-doubt, or resistance. By protecting their intentions until the proper moment, both their focus and their momentum. Jealous people thrive on information because information gives them opportunities to compare, criticize, and interfere. When you learn to reveal only what is necessary, you deny them that advantage. A brief answer is often more powerful than a detailed explanation. A calm smile is often stronger than a defensive argument. Not every question deserves a complete response, and not every curious person deserves access to your private world. The strongest individuals understand that protecting their thoughts, ambitions, and next move is not secrecy born from insecurity. It is wisdom practiced with discipline. Confidence is one of the rarest forms of power because it cannot be borrowed or purchased. It is built through experience, discipline, and repeated victories over fear. Yet confidence is also vulnerable when it is constantly exposed to the opinions of jealous people. Those who envy your progress often understand that they cannot defeat you through ability alone, so they attempt something far easier. They attack your certainty. Instead of confronting your strengths directly, they plant subtle seeds of doubt through carefully chosen questions, disguised concerns, and quiet criticism. Their goal is not to discover the truth, but to weaken your belief in yourself. These attacks are rarely obvious. A jealous person may ask, "Are you sure this is the right decision?" Or "What if it doesn't work out?" On the surface, these questions appear reasonable, even caring. However, when such questions are repeated every time you make progress, their true purpose becomes clear. They are designed to shift your attention away from your vision and toward your fears. The moment you begin questioning your own judgment more than your preparation, they have already influenced your thinking. Strong individuals recognize that not every opinion deserves equal weight. They understand the difference between constructive advice and disguised discouragement. Constructive advice comes from people who genuinely want your success and offer practical solutions. Jealous criticism, on the other hand, focuses on uncertainty without offering direction. It magnifies risks, highlights possible failures, and quietly hopes you will abandon your ambitions before proving your potential. Emotional discipline becomes your greatest defense. Instead of reacting to every doubtful comment, learn to observe the intentions behind the words. Ask yourself whether the person consistently supports your growth or only appears interested when something positive happens in your life. Patterns reveal far more than isolated conversations. A single question may be harmless, but repeated attempts to shake your confidence expose hidden motives that words alone cannot conceal. History repeatedly shows that remarkable achievements were often dismissed before they were celebrated. Visionaries were questioned, underestimated, and told their goals were unrealistic. Had they allowed every skeptical voice to define their confidence, many of their accomplishments would never have existed. This is why self-belief must be protected with the same determination used to build it. The strongest response to hidden attacks is not endless explanation or defensive arguments. It is quiet certainty backed by consistent action. Let your progress answer questions that your words never need to address. Jealous people lose influence when they realize they cannot control your emotions or redirect your focus. Confidence grows strongest when it depends on your own standards instead of the changing opinions of those who secretly resent your success. Silence is one of the most misunderstood forms of strength. Many people assume that power comes from speaking more, explaining more, or defending themselves against every accusation and every intrusive question. In reality, those who understand human nature recognize that silence often creates greater influence than endless conversation. Jealous people depend on your reactions. They ask provoking questions because they expect emotional responses, detailed explanations, or visible insecurity. When you refuse to give them what they seek, their strategy begins to fail. A jealous mind is constantly searching for information that confirms its own beliefs. If they believe your success is undeserved, they will ask questions, hoping to uncover mistakes or weaknesses. If they believe your confidence is an act, they will continue probing until they find signs of uncertainty. Every unnecessary answer gives them more material to analyze, criticize, or share with others. Silence interrupts this process. It leaves them without the evidence they hope to collect and without the emotional satisfaction they expected to receive. This does not mean becoming cold or distant. Instead, it means mastering the art of controlled communication. Answer what is necessary, but resist the temptation to justify every decision. The more secure you become within yourself, the less you feel obligated to explain your choices to people who have not earned that privilege. Confidence is often reflected not in the number of words you speak, but in your ability to remain calm when others try to provoke you. History offers countless examples of influential leaders, strategists, and thinkers who understood the value of restraint. They did not reveal every intention before acting. They did not argue with every critic or respond to every rumor. They understood that constant defense wastes energy and places control of the conversation in someone else's hands. By remaining composed, they allowed their achievements to become the strongest answer to doubt and hostility. Jealous people often become frustrated when they cannot predict your next move or influence your emotions. They may increase their efforts asking more personal questions or making subtle remarks designed to provoke a reaction. This is the moment when discipline matters most. Responding emotionally only rewards their persistence. Remaining composed forces them to confront the limits of their influence. Your greatest advantage is not convincing everyone to admire or understand you. It is protecting your peace, your focus, and your direction from those who secretly wish to see you distracted. Every unnecessary explanation gives away a piece of your power, while every measured response strengthens it. Silence is not weakness, avoidance, or fear. It is the deliberate choice of someone who understands that not every challenge deserves attention, not every question deserves an answer, and not every person deserves unlimited access to your thoughts, your plans, or your confidence.